102.5 FM, amazing 102.5 FM on the amazing sports show Sidelines here. Now it's time to talk about the women's. I think y'all was saying something about they flying the men out. WNBA players flying the men out now.
I know that piqued your interest. I know it did.
Hey, brother, I don't mind being a house husband because I can still make money at home. That's why I got work from home jobs, brother.
So we're not gonna go that far. We're not gonna go far.
But yeah, you wasn't talking about that.
Yeah.
Man. So
I'm excited about that part. Finally, finally that's on the table for the women charter flights, and of course. Indiana is the first to experience it in their game opener, but
of course,
that's okay because it's there now. So everybody's going to get an opportunity. I'm excited about that part, and it's needed because I can't tell you some of the stories I've heard some of the players how they would have to play in one city and then get on a flight made postponed. They got to stay there and then fly right in and immediately get on the court to play a game. Like, who does that?
Yeah, that's kind of barbaric. Actually, that's very barbaric.
Sound like an AAU term.
Sounds
okay.
very. Can't do that.
Definitely not pro. Definitely not pro.
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited about that part. They deserve that. So game openers was started yesterday. So exciting. Did anybody watch it besides myself?
I, of course, watched it. I had the YouTube TV going on. I had the split screen action going on.
Okay.
So that was beautiful. What game piqued your interest the most?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I wanted to see what Caitlin Clark, how her first performance was going to be like, but the game I was really looking for was some of the veteran players.
Always.
Because those teams are already stacked and established and things like that.
Right.
But I have to say, coming in as a rookie, she hit 20 points, 10 turnovers, I believe.
10 turnovers, definitely.
Yeah.
That's what stood out to me. Yes,
yeah.
That's what stood out to me.
Yeah. And then I think she got a little of that action what Taurasi was talking about. Everybody was hating on what all the veterans were, trying to tell the rookies, but what they were saying is what she experienced in her first game opener. Now, overall, I think it was a good, decent first game. And you somebody when they double teaming you.
Absolutely. And did you see her preseason before y'all already know I have to look at the betting side of things. I'm our better on the show.
Please tell us.
Yeah, break that down for us.
No, actually, the thing that piqued my interest the most was she was top 3 in preseason favorites to win the WNBA MVP.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I'm saying. That's crazy to me.
I don't know if that's just to me. Also, that's just plumb insane to expect a rookie to come in and do that.
Yeah.
That's.
The only one has done it. Candace Parker has been the only one and did it in the same year of that winning season with Rookie of the Year. She's the only one that's done it.
Only one that has ever done it. So I just don't.
I don't think so. Just by looking at because we got to give her grace period to really grow into this.
It's always harder for guards, in my opinion, especially going from collegiate level to the pros,
right?
To transition.
Yeah.
It's always easier for a big, especially a big like Candace Parker, who's such a Swiss Army knife, so to speak.
Right.
To lead an offense instantly is very tough on any guard, and we see all guards in both men and women struggle.
Yeah.
Their initial year in the league.
Yeah, because you could watch. I watched her play, and you could see some of those habits that she had that worked on the collegiate side.
Right.
But she's going to have to work on those. And we all saying this, and it may or may not matter. I guess it depends on how Indiana plays. Indiana still has some growing to do. Watching them play, they still got some pieces and things to kind of mesh together.
They was number one draft pick last season, right?
Yeah.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
But just watching them play, they're still trying to mesh together.
Right.
But defensively, she's going to have to pick it up, I think. Even if it's not necessarily being able to just be a defender,
like a stopper.
But her effort when the ball gets stolen or in transition, those things I think has to pick up.
Because she was never asked to do that.
Right.
Let's be frank about it.
Right.
Talk to him.
Yeah, and you notice her college coach resigned. She retired. Lisa.
I would too. Oh, let's talk about that. I know that's not on it. What?
Yeah, but let me say this because it's because there's so much talk about Caitlin Clark, and then Everybody likes to make things black and white issues, and in most cases that there are some instances where it is. I just want to say this for especially those that are listening. The WNBA is on a rise as the same rise the NBA was in its growing to be popular.
In the
So
Magic and Larry days.
exactly,
To put in perspective for you
because
guys.
when you go back and you look at what Moses Malone and those guys, you could say started the
Right,
league,
absolutely.
right? And then you transition to that next generation where Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and that whole rival was going on.
Right.
They were basically keeping the league alive,
Afloat, yep.
keeping it, giving it life. Jordan, Michael Jordan. It wasn't until Michael Jordan came on the scene did the NBA begin to really rise globally
right.
and became what it is today.
Right.
Right? So the same media coverage and the same he's the GOAT, he's this and that is the same place that Caitlin Clark is now with the WNBA. But with that, that whole transition is happening because of that. That doesn't mean that things wasn't already in the works, things wasn't already on play, on paper. It just means that there's a generational player that comes in, and just like with Tiger Woods, remember golf?
Black man. Well, black.
Golf was white. Golf was a white sport.
Golf was white.
Golf was white, but yeah, Tiger. I see what you're
Tiger
doing.
came in.
It always takes that transcendental athlete to bring eyeballs to already, if you're a core fan, you already know what the sport offers and what the sport has, but it takes that transcendent talent to put eyeballs on the screen.
Exactly.
Influencer.
Yeah.
There it is.
To bring in people who necessarily aren't really fans of the game, but just want to watch the game to see what they're doing.
Right,
and it piques the interest, and then it goes on to of course, the sports identity theory.
Exactly.
Exactly how they fans identify with the sport, with the play and the sports more.
Right. So I don't have a problem with the Caitlin Clark thing, because with it has come a shift for the women's side. So she's bringing in like they're talking about all the time. Whoever's coming to watch Caitlin Clark, they're coming to watch. You're going to get a chance.
Nine other players. You get 9 other players.
Right. Right. So that's just a part of transitioning. And it takes sometimes my godmother always calls when those things happen a spinner. It just so happens that it's Caitlin Clark. So I don't have no beef with that. I want it to do that. I want it to grow.
All publicity is good publicity.
Okay.
I don't care what they say. I don't care what they tell you.
And
all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I do want to highlight before we get too deep, my Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
We got to get there. See, that's who I wanted to see too.
That's
I'm
going
my
to Vegas
squad.
this summer.
I'm there every year, at least 3 times a year. Those are my queens over there. I love Asia Wilson. I want to highlight she's getting her own signature shoe as well.
She is.
And they're going for a three-peat.
Yeah.
They're going for a three-peat, which doesn't happen too often. And how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel they're gonna get it?
Yes, I feel like I didn't see much roster movement on them.
No, they got the same
team. They brought the same
Then she added a couple of other ones. Like I'm excited to see what those rookies are going to do.
I forgot who they. I don't think
Deja Fair.
They had like the second.
And Kate Martin.
My opinion, they had the second.
And Kate Martin.
Yep.
Kate Martin.
But they probably won. I mean, of course, if you get Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, or Cadeau, you won the draft. But they probably can say they won the draft too. We got some niggas coming in that when these veterans, 2 or 3 years, they starting to wither. Yeah. They gonna be ready to go.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that.
But yeah, I hope Chelsea. I don't know what the predictions of her getting back on the court, but her leadership will be needed. What she brings, and then
What is she out with?
I think it was her foot or her Achilles or ankle or something like that. Yeah.
And she's going through a divorce. I'm just gonna let her know. I'm here if she needs me.
He just put it out there like that. Okay.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
But what I was gonna end with, because Seattle is gonna be strong this year, so that's gonna be a good matchup. But Diana Taurasi. Now I've been saying, okay, it's time. When is it time? But her performance last night made me just be quiet. I think she hit like 7 threes or something like that last night.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this, Ron. Then I'm gonna let you end it. With Diana Taurasi, you can't. It's like Tom Brady, LeBron, Michael. You just whenever it happens, it happens. I'm done. You can't say she's a Cause they think about she won a national championship in '04. I was
Mm-hmm.
in
That's what I was
in
gonna.
fourth grade.
Yeah, I was. That's
You
what I
know
was
what I'm
gonna say.
saying?
That's what I was gonna
I'm
say.
28,
Yeah.
turning 29
Yeah.
this year, and she has never took a step back. Hats
Hats
off,
off.
hats off, Ron.
Hats off. That's
Hats
Ron's
off,
comment.
Ron.
Right. You
Before
know.
before we go, we gotta announce the Skims is the official underwear partner of WNBA, and right
Yeah.
now we have. Look at Candace Parker was one of the models. You gotta have Skylar Diggins Smith in there.
Yeah.
Then of course the beautiful Kelsey Plum.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the number 2 pick in the draft, Cameron Brink. And
Cameron
then
Brink.
last but not least, Dejanay Carrington
Mm-hmm.
were the models for this shoe, and that's a good thing to have. I think you
Yeah.
know it's the women's
And
like
what is
it's Kim
that for?
Kardashian.
Can you give us some context on that? Because I'm completely clueless on what's that bringing to the game.
I'm reading it right now. I guess it's more marketing and branding. So they're trying to, and
Yeah.
just from what I'm seeing, they're trying to how like a better words. This is something I never thought of WNBA or women in general. Or they try to make it more sex appeal, more sexy. With everything
Yeah.
with the transition, especially more now. Like Angel Reese coming in,
Right.
Cardosa, Alyssa from Utah.
Yeah.
Like that a lot of and like I was joking about getting flown out. A lot of men was on Twitter talking about how they my this girl is fine. They are that like it's women like it's men are tuning in. Some men are tuning in for the wrong things now.
Oh,
But
obviously.
obviously, but hey, it's Kim
But brand
Kardashian.
wise, it's
It's
good
smart.
because now there are more opportunities for the women to be compensated
Right, right, right.
alongside their salaries. But it's also showing the diversity in the different modes of being what a woman means.
Right.
You
Right.
know, like it means so many different things. And so having brands and products available now also shows our younger generation how you can be feminine, but you can also be a beast and a goat on the court or
At
the
the
field
same
at the
time.
same time. You don't have to, you don't have to give up one to be the other. So yeah, that's what I mean. Everything regarding women's sports, women's basketball, WNBA, we're on another level. We're definitely on a height of huge opportunities, and it's like we love it. We've been knowing that it was that women to bet on us, to bet on the league, to invest in it, to watch it. We've been there. So now that the wave is there, I'm excited to watch how this all unfolds and everything. Got the two expansion teams
Right.
that are ready to rock and roll. We got Houston talking about getting in on it. So I'm so excited.
And I just want to say for those at home, if you, I don't know if y'all are counting, but that's another instance where Lathan has mentioned getting flown out. I just want to throw that out there.
Right, let's keep it cap. Well, coming up, we ain't talking about getting flown out. We're gonna talk about what's hot in the
What's
H.
hot in the H?
Summertime in my city.
Summertime.